You work too much. And I'm not talking about your 40-hour-a-week job or 50 or 30 or whatever, because you get paid for those hours. I'm talking about the odd jobs you do for free, for the profit of someone else, and to the detriment of your own well-being. After working an 8-hour day with 8 hours of sleep and an hour of travel, you only have 7 hours left in any given 24. Just 7. And what do you do with those 7? You go back to work. You work as a gas station attendant, pumping gas and washing your car. You're a landscaper, mowing the lawn. You're a sous chef, a maid, a tutor helping your kids with homework. And then you're a store clerk, wandering around a shopping center at the side of West Side Park and then checking yourself out. And you know what? Those jobs are tiring you out. And so maybe you do take a break, but those dishes in the sink, they're still really dirty, and they're not going to clean themselves. So you work for money, you work for free, and then you go to sleep and the next 24 hours starts all over. But we didn't always do this. Civilization is built on the concept of division of labor. Instead of doing it all, we each start to specialize at something, and then we get really good at it. We trade our jobs off to the community, and before you know it, everything got done early or done better. And as a community, we end up with extra food, smarter kids, and free time to do whatever. Some people even start doing very specialized jobs that take years of training where you're an otherwise unproductive member of society. But while you go to college or hone your trade, some other person is making sure food gets grown or trash gets picked up, etc. It's a pyramid scheme. A lot of people need to cook or clean so that a few people can be astronauts and senators. Without a wide base, the pyramid sucks. And those jobs at the base of the pyramid have been disappearing for over 50 years. In 1910, 2% of the US population worked as in-home servants, doing cooking, cleaning, etc. In 2010, we're at 0.2%. And all that work, it still needs to get done. And so we just do it ourselves. And retail went the same way. Back in 1900s, or the early 1900s, you bought groceries by going to a small store, handing the clerk your list, and then you went to go buy something else. You could do anything. You could go, ride a bike, hang out with your kids for once, if you have to. But that changed with a guy named Saunders and a store called the Piggly Wiggly. Saunders patented an idea called the self-service store. People walked around and picked up their own groceries. So he hired fewer workers, and it was a big hit. Over the 1920s, everyone copied him. It became the standard method of business. Then in the 30s and 40s, times were lean, and people were bombarded with propaganda telling them, do it yourself or you're being wasteful. So we did even more ourselves, and then all the boys came back from the war, and they realized they didn't like doing it all themselves. So they pawned it off on their wives. She replaced an entire cadre of paid workers, and she ran around doing all those jobs for free. So the family profited as a result. But she wasn't paid. So if she ever needed to leave her husband for any reason, she was likely facing homelessness and joblessness. And that kind of sucks. So women fought for and have mostly now have the ability to have a career of their own. And two-income households are a lot more common. But all those jobs at the bottom of the pyramid, they still need doing. And there's more of them than ever. Like self-checkout. It's only 13 years old. And of course, it seems like the logical solution to that, manned register. It's so slow, it's backed up. But why? Why is it backed up? It isn't an accident. It's a conscious decision on the part of the store to understaff the registers. It's cheaper for them, and it makes you glad to go check out yourself. It's a business strategy that has shrunk the job market for 60 years. But you're not a cashier. You're a trained professional, or maybe a freelance professional, or whatever. You're overstressed, but what does this have to do with you? Your billable hourly is like $20 or better. And all these jobs we've been talking about, you can get someone to do them for 10. So now we get to the point of this little discussion. $20 is more than $10. It is. Anytime you're about to do a $10 job, stop. Pay someone else to do it and do your $20 job instead, and you make money. And the more you make hourly, the more sense it makes to have someone else do the job for you. Not only did you just reclaim an hour of your day, you also just gave someone a job. So it's the same thing your boss did back when you got hired. He delegated a bunch of simpler tasks to you so that he could spend his hours making even more money. Smart bosses delegate, and you should too. And as long as not you can be a prick to your employees about making them work during final exams, there's a university here full of people who could really use part-time jobs. And it's even better if it's a job that doesn't require shifts during the school day. So if you hire a cook 3 nights a week, you can have food for 6 nights a week. And then maybe you wouldn't be a fatty and eat Taco Bell and Velveeta Mac quite so often, even though it's good. Maybe you'll be able to stick to a diet. Hire a personal shopper, and maybe you won't come home with $30 worth of impulse groceries. Yeah, those 5-for-1 Oreo end caps, they're there for a reason. You can shop at Schnucks online, avoid it all, and for $17, they bring the groceries to your doorstep. Or for $7, you can just pick it up at the front of the store, avoid everything. $7 is the cost of 2 bags of Pepperidge Farm Milanos, which you're gonna buy because they're delicious. But anyways, a study showed that 50% of shopping mothers on their weekly shopping trip would overspend by at least $16. Half of them would overspend by more than $30. You might as well spend the $7 up front and avoid the whole problem. And the trans fats too. So look hard at your budget this weekend. It takes money to hire help, it does. But what I'm trying to show you here, it doesn't take that much money. Hiring help is feasible for even middle-class people. And you can either spend the money to make more money or just buy yourself a night off. Those 7 hours can be reclaimed and the money goes right back into the community. And it worked tonight. I was really busy the last few weeks, so I hired a local graphic designer. Rennie Carney, thank you very much. Putting these slides together, they look much better than what I've done by myself. She got paid, so it was worth it for her. I got to have a full night's sleep, so it was worth it for me. You only have 7 hours. So what is your time worth to you?